Welcome back. In this section, we will learn to build done button component. The responsibility of our done button component will be to remove the to-do ask from the responsibility of done button component will be to remove the task from the list. For that, we will use this remove to do item function. So this remove to do item function accepts a to do item and it creates a list of new to do items which contains all the other items that were previously in the to-do items list except the item which was passed in by it filters the to-do item based on the ID. So the new items won't contain the item that was passed in, and as a result that item would be removed from the to-do list. And once we remove the item from the to-do list, we then set the state to this new items, and the set state will change the state of our application, and hence the component will be re-rendered. And once the component is re-rendered, that passed in item won't be in this new state, so it won't appear on the UI. So to use this remove to do item function, we'll have to pass it as props also. So here, let's just pass remove to do item and props. So inside our to do list, we will receive the remove to do item function inside the props, and we don't need it in this to do list. So I'll just pass it to the task component. So remove to do item is equals to remove to do item. And this way we are passing remove to do item to the task component. And inside this task component, we want to consume it. And we want to consume it whenever a button is clicked. So let's just create a button. I'll call as done. And we would need the closing tag for the button. And we would need a closing tag for the button. So here we are getting an error, which is saying the bracket is expected. Unreachable code detected. This is happening because maybe we need to wrap these components and return them as a single element. So for that, we can use React fragment. The purpose of the React fragment is that it won't create an extra div in the DOM. So it just wrap these components as a one and it will return these components. So if I click save, I'll need to save all these three files and go back to my browser window. Here we're getting an error, remove to do item is not defined. So are we using it anywhere? We're not using it yet, and the error is in to-do list.js. So let's go back to to-do list.js. Okay, so the mistake that we are doing is we are passing remove to do item function, and this component does not knows what remove to do item function is. It will actually extract it from props. So we need to call props.remove to do item. Now if I go back, the error is removed, and this is the done button that we have added. So it is vertically stacked. So I want to display it next to the description of the to-do item. So let's go back and fix this by adding the style. So to add the style, I'll need a div because we cannot add styles to a fragment. So inside the div, I'll set the style is equals to display flex, and I'll set the flex direction to row. So now whenever we add any new item inside this div, it will be added in the row. So for example, if I copy this and paste it again in the UI, we can see that now we should have three elements, the task and the two but done buttons, but they should be in a row. So here you can see that these are in a single row. And next thing we want to do is we want to justify the content space around. So now it will look much better because now there's a space around all these three components. So this third button is useless, so I'll just remove it. And inside this button, we want to add an on-click event. So on click, so whenever this button is clicked, we want to call done button clicked function. So I'll add, I could have used an inline function that we have used previously, but I'm just naming the function and creator function here. This is just to tell you an alternate way. We usually use this technique when the functionality inside the function is a bit more complex. So I'll create a function. I'll name it done button clicked. And whenever done button is clicked, what we want to do is we want to remove the to do item. So I'll call props dot remove to do item, and inside this I'll pass props dot item. Sorry, props dot to do item because there is nothing as item in props. So if I click save and go back here, when I should click this done button, ideally this list item should be removed. So it's working perfectly fine. So if I keep clicking this done button, the item will be removed. And if I click this text, its status will be changed. So currently it's pending. If I click this, it's changed to completed. If I click this, the fourth is changed back to pending. And if I click it again, it's completed. And if I click done, the item will be removed from the UI. In next video, we'll go through a summary of what we have learned in this section, and there will be a short challenge for you guys. Thank you for watching.